Diana has been taken to Hades after saving Gateway City, only to discover that her mother has been captured by the god of the Underworld. Can she rescue her mother Cersei and escape the Underworld once more? Welcome to the Comicstorian Complete Story Series, where you get audio dramas of your favorite comic books, helping you decide what to go out and add to your collection. Today, we continue Absolute Wonder Woman by Kelly Thompson with issue number 7. I hope you enjoy. Long ago, in the bowels of the Underworld, Diana ran along the shores of the Wild Isle, chasing after one of her pet monsters. But she stopped short as she rounded the corner to see the Queen of the Underworld waiting for her. "Lady Persephone," Diana whispers, but the Queen merely nods and smiles, motioning the young girl forward. "Hello, Diana. Come meet my tree," she offers. Diana steps forward, surprised to see a tree growing on the Wild Isle. But Persephone explains that she is trapped in hell, and that everywhere she walks, life follows her. She stands and holds out a hand for Diana. But in the Underworld, everything dies almost instantly. But sometimes, something very special breaks through. "Come, show me the rest of your home, Diana. Perhaps we can encourage more to grow," Persephone offers. Diana smiles and takes her hand. "I'd like that. Mother always needs more plants," she says. The two turn and begin to walk along the beach. Persephone looks down at the young Amazon and, almost as an afterthought, begins to tell her a tale. "Have you ever heard the story of how I became the Queen of the Underworld, Diana? It involves a kidnapping and some very diabolical pomegranate seeds," the Queen begins. Now, the Queen watches as the Chimera wraps its paws around Diana's throat. But the warrior twists out of the monster's grasp and hits it hard, knocking it across the arena of the damned. "Quite the fight," Persephone notes. Hades nods his ethereal head as he continues to watch. "Thank you, wife," Hades says absent-mindedly. Before, on the Wild Isle, Cersei kneels before their hearth, whispering softly so as not to awaken the sleeping Diana nearby. She bows her head, whispering for an audience with Hecate, the goddess of magic. "Hecate, please answer me. This is for Diana, and I must demand an audience with you. Now," Cersei whispers. Suddenly, there's a whoosh of flames, and Hecate's head appears in the fires of the hearth, blazing the room to life. "Speak fast, Cersei. I only have seconds," Hecate orders her. Cersei nods and explains that she knows what she must do, but she doesn't know how she is supposed to get her young daughter out of hell. "How am I to accomplish this impossible task?" Cersei pleads. But the fiery head merely nods knowingly. "There will be 2 escapes. The first is temporary, and you need not concern yourself with. The second is more permanent, but the path has been laid," Hecate explains. Cersei doesn't understand, but Hecate can't tell her more. "Ears are everywhere, Cersei," she whispers, promising that Hecate saw what Zeus was planning long ago and began a new game. "The way has been prepared," Hecate whispers as she explains that she once told Hades a fairy tale that impressed him long ago, before a strong breeze came through the cave, putting out the fire. Cersei sighs and looks up. The breeze stirs again and knocks a book from its shelf. She reaches for it and flips it open, revealing the tale, The Lady or the Tiger. Now, the Chimera takes a deep breath and roars. Flames erupt and bathe Diana, forcing her back long enough for the creature to rush forward and slash the warrior with her claws. The Amazon gasps with pain as blood spills from her wounds. Hades smiles and glances at his other captive. Cersei sits beside his throne in chains, her mouth covered, tears falling from her eyes for her daughter's pain. "Care to place a wager, Cersei?" Hades says. Before, Cersei and Diana lay in their bed as Cersei tells her daughter the tale of the lady or the tiger. Once upon a time, long ago, there was a beautiful princess, Cersei began, turning the pages as the tale continued. She told Diana of a princess that fell in love with a handsome young man, but the king refused to allow them to marry, as the man was not a prince, but a poor farmer. He ordered his guards to take the man to the arena, where he would face 2 doors. The king declared that the gods would decide the man's fate. Behind one door was a beautiful woman, and behind the other was a tiger and certain death. Can't he reason with the tiger, or fight it as a last resort? Diana asks her mother. But Cersei smiles and shakes her head. No, Diana, most people can neither communicate with tigers nor fight them and live, she explains quietly. The story continues. The princess was still very much in love with the man and told him that she would signal which door he must take. But the princess learned that the beautiful woman behind the door was someone that she was deeply jealous of, a woman who the young man had once loved, and the princess had long hated. Now, she had to choose the fate of her love. When the time came, the young man looked up at the princess, and she gave a signal. He trusted her completely, and so walked towards the door that she motioned to. And Cersei closes the book. The end, she says gently. Diana looks up at her mother in confusion. Wait, what? She asks, unsure of why the story has stopped, pointing out that they don't know what happened. I think that's the point, darling, Cersei tells her softly. But this just confuses Diana even more. And over the years, Diana thinks on the story, trying to decipher its meaning and the lesson her mother was trying to impart. Finally, when she is a teen, Diana figures it out. Now, she punches the chimera once more before whirling and kicking it across the arena. Persephone sighs and glances at her husband. Tell me again, what is the point of the fighting, husband? She asks. Hades shrugs. Well, you know I like a good fight, and sometimes someone loses a limb. Very exciting, he tells her. Diana wipes the blood from her nose as the monster rushes once more. I am sorry, sister. Yield and fight another day, Diana pleads. But the chimera roars in anger and charges. But Diana grabs a hold of the monster's throat and brings her to the ground. She is beaten, Hades! Do not make me kill her, Diana shouts. But Hades shakes his head. Only one of you may leave the arena, princess, Hades calls. Diana glares at him. If you force me to kill her for nothing more than sport, then you are not the god I thought you might be, and it will draw a fateful line between us, Diana snarls. But she has no choice, and she twists the head of the mighty creature, stopping once the bones snap. Rest easy in your next life, sister. Forgive me, Diana whispers as she lowers the chimera to the ground. She wipes the blood from her wounds and begins to recite a spell. Her eyes start glowing and she rises up from the floor of the arena, magical energy pouring off of her. Hades, you are no god, no lord. You are the warden of a prison. Nothing more, Diana calls. Hades stands, his ethereal form pulsing with anger. You dare to speak to me in such a way? The Lord of the Underworld? He shouts. I do, Diana growls. She floats forward, power radiating from her as Hades is forced back. How How is she this powerful? He hisses. But she smiles at him, pointing out that her power comes from being unjustly trapped in hell. I believe we have a game to finish. A question of 2 doors? Diana asks. Hades glares at her for a moment before nodding and pointing to the 2 doors in the arena. Pick a door, princess, so I no longer have to look upon your face. Behind one door is certain death. Behind the other, freedom, Hades tells her, before revealing that if Diana should win her freedom, she will never be allowed in the Underworld again until her death. He smiles back at Cersei. You will lose your daughter forever. Your wild isle will be barren stone once more, for all eternity. He gloats. Diana looks to her mother and sees a tear rolling down her cheek. But Cersei motions gently with her head, just like the princess in the story. Diana trusts her mother and flies down to the door, pushing it open to reveal a golden light from within. Thank you for trusting me, mother, Diana whispers, as she turns away from the door and flies back up. What's this? Did I stutter? You've won your freedom, and you may not return, Hades says to her, but Diana shakes her head and steps forward. She picks up her mother's chains and snaps them. About that, it seems some time ago, I had the occasion to eat some pomegranate seeds your wife gave me, Diana says as she frees her mother. Hades glares at his wife. What have you done, Persephone? Hades demands. The queen shrugs, pointing out that she has done nothing but feed Diana one of his treasured seeds, meaning that she must return to the Underworld for 1 month for every seed taken. But Diana did this out of love and wasn't tricked like Persephone was. And so, Diana must return. Unless, of course, would you like to break the rules of the seed? You'll have your win, husband, but you will lose your bride, Persephone says with a smile. Hades looks to Diana and glares at her as his body begins to turn to mist. This is not finished, princess. You've made a grave miscalculation and a motivated enemy, he tells her before disappearing. Later, Diana flies her mother back to the Wild Isle, promising to return. I'll send you a message as soon as I build the Hyron in Gateway City, as we planned, Diana tells Cersei. She holds out a hand to her mother. In Hecate's name, fare thee well, mother, Diana tells her as she floats away. In Hecate's name, daughter, Cersei whispers. And so concludes issue 7 of Absolute Wonder Woman. Diana has won her freedom from the Underworld once more, but she has made a powerful enemy out of Hades, the god of the Underworld. Will she be able to find her way back to the surface world safely? You'll just have to wait until next time. But let me know your thoughts on Absolute Wonder Woman in the comments below. And like and subscribe if you want to help the channel and get notifications when new videos go live. I'm Dan with Comicstorian, and we will see you next time. Rest in peace, Benny.